Cash better than digital, fast better residual. Mad folk when they give a school, giving vision to the views of good swimming pool. I never understood the logic. Your parents worked too hard for you to take you from the project. I used to be a novice, but now I'm just stealing the life. This is stealing the floor, so now I'm just secretly like, what's the nuggets to a chicken box? Walking in the chicken spot. Let me get you orders of honey, Old Bay wings, please. Get home in peace and I'm out on police. Shoot me on Netflix now. I'm on my best shit now. This epic man now, I'm coming with this next shit now.
Alright, what's up, y'all? And we back sipping with Steph. In this episode, we here sipping with not only the 𝐘𝐨𝐮𝐭𝐮𝐿, I'm talking about the soul father of Baltimore. What's going on, Easy?
What's poppin'? What's going on?
I'm so excited to have you here. Like, those who don't know, when I first moved to Baltimore, it was probably umpteenth years ago, like maybe 13 years ago. And when I first moved here, it was about 2008, 2009. And I think around that time you were circulating. I don't know as much. I know I got into you more around 2012, 2013. A lot of my close friends that were considered these indie artists or underground artists, they really were pushing you, to me. And I was like, okay, we'll see what's going on. So I'm super excited to just meet you. If you could just, first off, introduce yourself and let me know where you're from.
Yeah, Easy Jackson, Baltimore City. I lived all over, a lot of West Baltimore in me.
Okay, Dunny. Okay,
yeah, love the city and just, try to keep it rocking.
Try to keep it rocking. So what's your pure, what would you call yourself? Like, what would be your pure title if somebody was to ask you, what do you do? Like, what would you say that is?
Man, I don't know. I always say different things because I do a lot of different stuff, but I think mostly, a easy word would just be like a connector.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I rap, I sing, I songwrite, produce, curate, activism. I dabbled in journalism, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I love the city and try to find where I can fit in to make things better in any way that I can.
So you was born and raised in Baltimore? I
was born in New York, actually.
Okay.
I moved here. My mother is originally from Baltimore, and we moved here when I was 9. And now it's like, for a while it's been like, this is the city I know.
Right. New York ain't too far off from Baltimore.
It's not too far, but then it's like, you drop me off in New York, I don't know where the fuck I'm at. You can put me in the trunk. I tell people all this time, you can put me in the trunk, blindfold me, and drop me off anywhere in the city, and I'm gonna get home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the city like the back of my hand.
You got the black taking.
Yeah, this city is I was raised here. You know what I mean? So this is home for me.
So what made you get into, because you old now. When I met you, you was young face, easy. I think you had locks, Maybe you was going through different hair phases, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so what made you really get into the actual rapping and the songwriting and that creative part?
I always did it. I've probably been recording since I was about 14, 15.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Baltimore School for the Arts.
Okay, all right. So you went to the University.
Yeah, I went to the Baltimore School for the Arts. I ended up graduating from Wild Lake, but they in Columbia. I don't really claim them. No,
okay.
No disrespect, but
he said hi.
No disrespect, but my mother moved to South Columbia. I was always back in the city. You feel me? So I went to school out there and hung out a little bit, but I was always back in the city.
So what girl made you write that first rap?
What
pushed you to that point where you was like, I'm about to write me a piece?
Probably this Puerto Rican girl named Jasmine in the first grade.
Hola Jasmine, okay, Barrica.
Yeah, in the first grade, I liked her. And, and rap was like, that's like, we talking like 86.
So who was 86, so who was out then that was inspiring you at the time?
By 84, I think, when I first saw Run DMC.
Okay, yeah.
That was my first rap act that I liked, and then it was probably LL.
Okay.
And then, I'm old.
The ladies love.
I'm old.
Okay. He was over there licking his lips to girls.
Yeah. LL, You know, and then there's like special ed. I like special ed.
Okay.
Growing up, I loved the whole native tongues
Alright,
shit.
yeah.
So Tribe, De La Soul.
Who had that song? It's been stuck in my head. You wanna be somebody. Wanna go somewhere.
That's from
Wake up
that's from
bed.
Lean on Me.
Oh.
That's from Lean on Me.
My bad. Okay.
Wake up and pay attention.
I thought that was okay. I keep it moving. So you started in '86.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you so you got inspired, and then you kept it. So about 14, 15.
And around then, I was listening to like the Roots, Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
like hip hop. That's the golden era of hip hop. So
That
hip hop
really
was
is.
like, you know what I mean? That was like, back then everybody didn't rap even, you know what I mean? So I kind of learned that I had a skill for it based on, you know, how people was responding to me.
Do you feel like you learned a lyricism from that era of hip hop that I would say is missing a little bit?
Yeah, storytelling.
When it comes to what's now
Storytelling.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
narrating. You know, and
narrating. Even like having your own personality. You know what I mean? Having your own thing about you was like a big thing that you had to stand out. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't be like, oh, he remind me of, you know what I mean? He sound like so and so. You rap just like what's the name? You know. So they taught me that like individualism. You know what I'm saying? Was alright. It was alright to stand out.
When did you get into club music?
Oh man, fucking what? 4th grade.
Okay, because I'm not from here, so I've been told. This is what I've been told. But about the Hammer Jacks and the Paradise.
Yeah, but even before that, like me, like Baltimore. A lot of people don't even talk about this though. But when I was coming up in Baltimore, like they used to have parties. Like people would have parties at their house.
Like freak parties?
That's what they call
yeah.
freak parties.
Yeah, because I know about them.
What you know about that?
I've been like a couple parties.
You know, doing your research.
You know, I got a couple dollars saved up for a couple parties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we used to, you had freak parties in somebody's basement, and it was always Baltimore club music. You know what I mean? So I've always loved Baltimore club music. Like it's who we are. It's our fabric. You know what I mean? It's our
introduced.
Identity.
I was introduced when I came in 2008. Maybe it was this dance called the SpongeBob or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you know, coming from Kansas City, we probably affiliate more with West Coast types of things. So we were all going hyphy and stuff. Yeah. Coming from Kansas City, and so coming up here and
we used to make fun of that shit.
Don't make fun of me. Hey. It's expressing your body through sporadic movements.
It's dope.
But coming up here, just looking like, because Chicago is so close to us, you know, when you live in Kansas City, you were always impressed by the footwork, you know, in Chicago. And
that sound was similar to club music, too, because I stayed out in Chicago a little bit.
Yeah, but it's different. Like
it's very different, but it's got kind of that same energy a little bit. More house, I think. It's more got like a house feel.
What got you with Rufus and finish the whole thing?
𝐘𝐨𝐮?
Yes.
Well, I already knew 𝐘𝐨𝐮. We did Hey Baltimore.
That's an anthem, you guys. Hey Baltimore, could you guys have that on a Netflix?
Yeah, it's on the Netflix documentary Dark City Beneath the
all y'all
Beat.
gold diggers.
Check that out
know what
on
it is.
Netflix. Dark City Beneath the Beat.
He got money coming royalties every month. You know what I'm saying? You heard it. I don't care if it's $7, short. That can be your $7. Oh my gosh, you listening? But yeah,
but yeah, that one I already knew 𝐘𝐨𝐮. I knew Rufus too at the time when we recorded the song. I met Rufus just through the scene. There's a guy named 𝐘𝐨 from here that passed away in 2014.
Let me just pause on that, because I will also say one of the places where I remember also seeing you a lot that I didn't realize I had seen you was down there off of Preston in
Now Child. Yeah.
And this used to be a spot where it was like the underground spot for these hip hop ciphers, for these performances. And I mean, a lot of people would show up and support that with vendors and just everybody. And this was a community. So me, 𝐘𝐨𝐮, Rufus, we're all from that community. You know what I mean? So there was a singer. There's a singer from here named 𝐘𝐨𝐿. Peace to 𝐘𝐨. He doing Fed time right now, but he called me. 𝐘𝐨𝐮 called me. He said, "Yo, I'm working on these old 𝐘𝐨 records. Would you come and, you know what I mean, lay some verses on
on something. I said, hell yeah. So I came through, and he was working on this concept of Blackwater and everything. It was like the early stages of Blackwater. So 𝐘𝐨𝐮𝐿 was like, let me let you hear some shit I'm working on. And when he played Hey Baltimore for me, there was like a space where he didn't know what he was going to do right there. And the lyrics just started coming to me. And I was like, let me lay that down. So laid it down, and then, you know, I left the studio. Next thing I know, 𝐘𝐨𝐿 is like, yo, this shit is a hit. Like, Hey Baltimore is it's an anthem. And so it's been a journey ever since then. Like, we've had, when we first dropped it, it was like, you know, on the radio, you know, had that little fun, and then it, you know, and then it got quiet for a second, and then TT brought it back with the documentary with Dark City. So, that's the
documentary. I said it correct. I've been sipping with Steph. The documentary, Dark City,
Beneath the Beat.
Beneath the Beat
on Netflix.
Y'all make sure y'all check that out consistently. Okay,
the most beautiful depiction. It's the most. For me, I think it's the most beautiful visual depiction of Baltimore in a film that I've ever seen. Me being in it aside,
I'm not gonna lie.
Like, it's
that was a nice scene.
They made us look good. You feel me?
They did.
And you know, film, TV. You know, they love to highlight our
They made Baltimore
side.
look culturally aesthetic, like that. Like they made it.
They make it look like we're just a city full of
just
savages
people
running around. Like, but there's beauty in art really here too. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love that TT did that film.
Okay, well, speaking of savages, and I'm gonna switch subjects.
Let's go.
How you feel about these squeegee boys?
I love them.
Why you love them?
Because I used to squeegee.
But why, when my car can do that?
Okay.
Why not just sell waters or loose ones or Gatorades?
I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes you don't know where. Sometimes a bug hits your windshield, or it rained. You know what I mean? And you might be rushing on your way somewhere.
But as a woman,
and you know you get your squeegee.
And I say no.
Hold on, before you keep going, because you asked me how I
did ask you,
and I know you about to give me your take on the squeegee boys. But what I'm saying is, these are young black men who are figuring out a way to make money for themselves. They don't all come from the best backgrounds, and I do know that some of them are, you know, a little wild, a little aggressive, but for the most part, they're out there going through a rites of passage in their life. They're not going to be out there forever. You know, that experience is teaching them a lot of things. It taught me how to talk to people. It taught me how to have a hustle. You know what I mean? And a work ethic. You feel me? When I mean, just little shit, like when I graduated from high school, like some people didn't know how to wash their own windows with the squeegee joint. The windshield wiper don't get everything because you get that little dirt hairline over the top.
But once I get past that part, once I get past that part and I tell you no, and then you harass me,
that's fine. But everybody don't do that though. All of them don't do that. I have a hard time believing most of them do that. It's how you react to them. If you just say, you know, nah, I'm good, you know what I mean, they usually don't bother you. But if you with some, get the fuck away from my car, you acting like that, like, I don't blame them. Like, you don't talk to nobody else like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I do. Like, I talk, like, honestly, once I feel like you in my personal space, once I feel like you have invaded my possessions, you with your dirty ass water, and also, unfortunately for you, I wasn't raised around that. When niggas didn't have no money, they couldn't figure out a way to hustle. They was not out there panhandling or begging on corners as frequently as these niggas are doing to make it seem like it's a new or struggling idea, which, if that's the case, get a car wash then. Go over to the side and get a car wash. If I say no, actually don't put a heart on my shit. Just keep it the fuck moving. Don't put a heart on my shit neither. Don't give me a Cash App thing. None of that shit. Because at the end of the day, you still sell drugs. Your shoes still better than mine. And who's to say that I got money in my motherfucking pocket just because I'm driving this goddamn car?
I think that's a very elitist approach. Honestly, I think it's elitist. I think it's elitist
all
to think
five of them little niggas right there in North Avenue off 83.
I think it's elitist to think about them that way because they're not out there because they want to be out there. They're not out there because they
don't believe it all that.
Okay, well I'm telling you for a fact because I know some of them and I used to be one of them. They're not out there because they're not out there because they want for all of them. They're not out there because they want to annoy you. They're not out there to bother you. They're out there because there is a broken system in this country and in this city. The squeegee boys are not the problem. Poverty is the problem. Lack of education is the problem. More money being given to the police than it's given to rec centers and mental health programs. That is the problem that has created what we now have as the squeegee boys. The squeegee boys are just easy targets for the aggression, and that's why I don't like that elitist take on them. Because you just assume that they sell drugs on the side. You assume that their shoes are better than yours. You don't know if that might be the only pair that they got though. You don't know that.
I do not. But you also don't know that.
And so what I'm asking people is to have more empathy. It's easy for us to
by giving them a book or a business card to a temp agency or someplace else they get a apprenticeship or a trade. But it's easy to sit back and
make those judgments that you made of them. Yeah. And I feel like we as black people, I'm more annoyed by the white people who be on the corner who don't offer to do shit. Yeah. And we wrote the squeegee boys in as panhandlers and beggars when they're offering a service. I seen y'all ride around with your dirty ass windshields. But somebody needs to wipe that shit. You need to throw them a couple dollars and stop riding around with a dirty ass windshield.
It is my choice.
I know, and that's
number one. It's my choice.
But I'm telling you for a fact, they're not out there because they want to be.
Hold on now. You don't know that. You can assume that. We can all assume that.
I'm not assuming it because I talk to them.
Yes, but you don't talk to all of them.
I talk to many of them.
Yes, but
I will show you a voicemail right now. I want to show you something right now.
I get it.
I'm going to play something for you right now.
But I have too. Literally for 4 years.
Hold on.
I taught that age group and went out for a year and went out to each of those corners to pass out information for my high school, for apprenticeship programs, for trade programs, and some of them Negroes, unfortunately, they do not care about those things.
It's not that they don't care about it. It's not that they don't care about it. It's the approach.
I taught for 4 years. I had no problems with nobody. I had no issues with nobody. My approach was never. Okay. I'm better than you or anything like that. I'm coming.
But it is now because everything you just said was that.
My problem didn't even work.
That was your approach.
But still, don't touch my shit. And if I say no, then for me, that's when the problem comes into play. Because I've had issues. That's a valid point for me. Everything else, that's assumption. We could assume what these Negroes want to do, could do, however they want to. But what I do know for a fact, the majority of the time when I say no, it has been contention that is unnecessary. So therefore, it causes for an unfavorable opinion of a person. But I do know for a fact, I taught that age group. I had 3 of my own boys that I was mentoring that was on different corners. That's why I know what corners they was on. I was pulling up on them, North and 83. Pulling up on them at President and right there at President Lombard. I was pulling up on them because they knew Miss Harper cared about them past what everybody else thought they was doing, what was going on. So I do know, but I don't. Some of them boys don't. I know for a fact they don't got to be out there. They don't want to be out there. But what I do know is what causes tension for me, for Stephanie, is that when I say no, baby, I'm good. That I still get met with contention. I do get when people say, oh, they're extorting me, they're abusing me. I haven't gotten a super aggressive dude. No, I'm not going to say that. These dudes, I'm cute. I'm sorry, I'm cute. I have not gotten a super aggressive squeegee boys. I don't have to deal with extra aggression like
okay. Can I just say one thing? Like that. I just feel like we, especially us as black people,
I can't assume that they want to be out there. Don't want to be out there.
I feel like we, especially us as black people, have to be careful about the narrative and whether it helps or hurts young black boys. And I think right now the conversation, there are a lot of black people contributing to the conversation, adding to a hysteria and a fear that is way smaller than it really is.
I agree.
Also, it is the result of bigger issues that everybody is not paying attention to.
I agree.
So the energy that you're putting in speaking that narrative about these young boys, you're not putting that same energy into the city council and the mayor passing another police budget that is putting hundreds of $500,000.
My effort is different and it looks different and can only be to a capacity that it could be to from what I can produce in my life. But what I do know is that my judgment on these young men have never been to an extent where I don't drive up to them, oh my God, I hear these. No. I can only have a desire for my daughter, first of all, for my daughter. And as a community, all I can do is literally look at you and say, oh no, baby, I'm good. And that's it. If I could do that and that's that without rolling my window down and saying, get the fuck away from my car, I don't gotta do that. If all I could do that day when they come up to me is say, oh no, baby, I'm good. And keep it moving without having to worry about what's going on in the community today, that's the case. What's happening today. Because that is the bigger picture of what's going on in Baltimore.
Most people I know, most people that I talk to, they don't.
But I didn't grow up. Unfortunately for me, for some people, but unfortunately, I did not grow up in a manner to where I was used to seeing people doing stuff like that on corners and just various corners.
And that's why I say empathy is. That's why I say empathy
getting is money. But I'm from the country. I know what poverty looks like. We ain't got no corner stores or Chinese stores or this, that, and the third I can go to and get a quick half and half and 4 wings and fries and do all that. I do gotta walk my fucking miles. Poverty looks different in the country than versus the city. I learned that very easily when I learned how to be. I dove deep when I moved here into the work environment by being a PRP for kids that were going to Lamel, going to Lake Clifton. When I first moved up here in 2008, 2009, my sympathy for the children that live in Baltimore City, what I know they go through.
What school were you working at?
I didn't work at a school. I worked for a company that would send me out, and I had different cases that would come. I had different kids. And
what was the company?
It was a long time ago. So I think it was Therapeutic Living for Families or something like that. I think they're still in.
Oh shit!
He messing up the props. But I think it was like something like that for when I first got into the city, I made sure that I dove deep into the community. What made
you want to do that?
Because that's where I was coming from. I came from Kansas City. I came from Kansas City being a community organizer, being a young person that was always in the community.
So you always been into that?
I always been into that.
Where did that come from?
I always been somebody that I came from a big family. I had 45 male cousins, first cousins. Okay. So when I tell you I love my black men, I love my black men.
So you grew up
I grew up with decent black men. I grew up with a good, strong perspective on what different black men look like. You know what I'm saying? And what and how they choose to live their paths in life. I only have 5 cousins. So that are girls. So I grew up kind of doing that and being in the community, doing poetry, doing theater, doing things like that. So it always kept me in the community. And
was that something was there somebody in your family that also did that you directly got that from? Like a grandmother, mother, aunt, anybody like that?
No.
Uncle? It's just you just took
there was a part of me that was like, you know what? I've always been a butterfly, and I wanted to escape. So because you want to escape what you got going on around here, you find other ways to implement yourself elsewhere. So I found myself being able to go to different open mics, different poetry, different little poetry spots, different theater spots, and really being able to express myself thoroughly. You know what I'm saying? So. You went off.
No, it got to a point where I was like, am I getting interviewed or lectured?
You get whatever you get. You get what you get.
She was like, no, because when you walk up to my window and put I don't want your dirty ass heart on my window. And I was like, whoa, I was like, okay. Let's go.
But we be sipping, and I'm passionate. I'm passionate because I love my black people. I do. I love, anyway, really? Easy. So anyway.
Okay, what's up?
We're going to wrap this up easy. So you back to making music?
You get me the fuck out of here.
So you back to making music. What happened? So you said you was gonna quit on Facebook. I saw this whole rant. My homegirl sent it to me Easy said he quitting music. Can you get some lines from him? And I didn't get a chance to catch up with you. But what's going on?
It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
I'm just bored.
So what that mean? What you gonna start playing instruments and stuff now?
Well, no. I want to start curating.
Okay.
I want to start curating more. I want to start producing, maybe managing artists more. I want to start, in the Baltimore music scene, there's a lot of things that are missing. And I think one of the problems that we have is we have artists who don't want to do those other things. They just want to keep fucking making music. And one, I'm bored. Two, the investment that I've been putting into my music, the return is not what it's supposed to be. it's cool and it's cute that, you know, a few people.
We just won some, I ain't gonna say how much money, but you just won an award.
Yeah, we won,
the Weaver Award.
I got the Weaver Award, and that's the concept of even that award is like where I want to go. It's like weaving, like bringing people together and kind of like, you know, making this whole thing better.
We should expect a festival from Easy.
Yes.
We should expect a festival from Easy.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. I want to be instrumental in helping whatever energy is going towards building a better infrastructure in the city for artists. I'm 41 now. I'll be 42. I have had a fucking blast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been to some of my events and shows.
Have.
You know, and then I've been able to be on the road, and I've been able to stand on stage with some of my idols. Like, I have. It's very hard to make it in music. So I'm fortunate to have done the things that I've gotten to do. Now I'm at this stage in my life where I want to do something else. I want to do more. I have fun. I'm not totally done. I'm still doing shows. I'm just not recording no more new music until I feel it in my soul that, like, all right, this is what I want to make. I want to create this.
Well, thank you so much for arguing with me and for allowing me to lecture him.
Look, I'm from a big family.
I appreciate it so much.
I'm from a big family. We go at each other, so I have no problem. I have no problem having healthy discourse or debates ever.
I feel so relieved. So, oh God. Okay, thank you. Sitting on my couch. You know what I'm saying? But no, for real, thank you so much, Easy. I truly appreciate. I can't wait to look back at this interview and really go through the gems that we talked about. But as we wrap up, is there anything that you want to tell people to look out for? I mean, I know you said curating, but anything else?
If this is dropping in August, September 3rd, I'm going to be hosting a thing that they're doing down in Inner Harbor, and I forget the name of it. It's going to be actually called UFest.
Got you, UFest. Okay.
UFest. I think Baltimore is affiliated with it somehow, but we're going to be doing that down in the harbor. Just like follow my Instagram and all that. I'm always doing something. So.
All right, so y'all heard it right here. We sipping with Steph. I'm sipping with Easy. He let me cuss him out a little bit. I'm so sorry. I apologize to him at the camera. Thank you, production. I appreciate it. Y'all know what it is. We sipping with Steph.
Let's go.